And so you listen to this verse and you're going to recognize the names of the cows that Dinabandhu Prabhu was talking about. Yes? Pishangi marikastane pranata shringi pingakshane mridanga mukhi bhumare shabhari hansi vansi priye iti swasurabe kulam tara iti swasurabe kulam taradamavayantam mudam Raje Vijayanam Bhaje Vipinadeshata Keshavam. So this is how Rupa Goswami expressed this pastime. Pishangi, Marikastani, you have heard all the names. And it says, and thus this is a worship of the Lord as he returns from the pasturing grounds. And as he returns, he calls his cows who wander through the forests. And it is said that some of them, when he calls them, immediately they come. And some of them, they don't come. They need a little special attention. So they hide themselves on some hillat or behind some bushes or some trees. And they let Krishna call them several times, savoring their own name pronounced from the lotus mouth of Krishna. And some of them come after some time and some of them don't come at all. So then Krishna has to go into the forest and search for them. So these are very beautiful pastimes. Actually, life with Krishna is very, very simple. Krishna is a simple cowherd boy. And life with him is very, very simple. Running through the forest, jumping into the water of the Jamuna, running behind the cows. This is what we are aspiring for. In this material world, people move from village to city. But the aspiration of the devotees is to move from the city to the topmost village, in the middle of the jungle of Golok Vrindavan, with desire trees. You can see here, there are desire trees. And in the midst of the desire trees, Radha and Krishna and all his associates perform their eternal pastimes. What is a pastime? A pastime means they don't really have to do it. It's not like a duty in the material world, that we have to go to work, we have to go to school, we have to cater for some social, concerns, we have to go to some, we have to, whether we like it or not. Pastime is not like this. Pastime is a manifestation of the colorful emotions of the heart of the Brijbasis. Whatever they do is a manifestation of their feelings for Krishna, their ecstatic feelings and their ecstatic desires to satisfy him one way or the other. Krishna is the source of all desires, and he always wants something new, something different, something very exciting. And the devotees, they are his assistants. Krishna says, let's go to the Yamuna. And immediately everyone gets ready. And there is a dance party, like we will have on the 17th. There is the advance party going that removes the thorns from the way, that prepares the flower beds, gathers everybody. So, and then there is the accompanying party, those who are singing, those who are decorating, those who are helping in different ways, carrying different things. Because wherever Krishna goes, it's going to be a festival. It's going to be a festival. So thank you, Dinabandhu Prabhu. Dinabandhu Prabhu is expert in narrating Brajalila. And roaming the forests of Vrindavan, which he does many times, taking devotees with him. So I will come to my topic. First offering my obeisances. Om Jnana Timirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaham Dadati Sapadantikam Adadana-strinam dantairinam yache pura punaha Srimad Rupa Padam Bhojo Dhulisyam Janma Janmani Bhakti Purvaishita Tanto Rasam Pashe Yadattadi Tam Naumi Satatam Rupa Nama Priya Jana Hare Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Mukham Karoti Vachalam Pangam Langayate Girim Yat Kripatamaham Vande Shri Gurun Dhinataranam. So I have given a title to my presentation, which is Rows of Pearls. But before I start, we would like to welcome Her Grace Devi Shakti Mataji, just now coming in. Just 1 minute, we are welcoming Devi Shakti Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji.
Where's this screen? And
the screen is over there. That's. Would
I
you
should sit over there?
No. You sit here when you speak. Would you like to speak now? I was just starting to speak. Yeah? Please come here. Please come and sit there. Please, Mataji, come and sit.
Just let me you speak. Go.
Come with me, please.
There. Hare Krishna. Please.
Dinabandhu is
Everyone's
sitting there.
waiting for you. Go on.
Devi Shakti Mataji ki, Srila Prabhupada ki, Srila Rupa Goswami Pada ki. So we'll be hearing from Devi Shakti Mataji in a few minutes. First we will complete this little presentation here. It is entitled Rows of Pearls. So many of you will know what that means, Rows of Pearls. This is a glorification of Srila Rupa Goswami's handwriting by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So the topic of this presentation will be how Srila Rupa Goswami was writing. It's about not his writing proper, but how he was writing actually. First we will sing a beautiful verse as an invocation. Vrindavaniya rasake nivartam kalena luktva nija shakti mutkaha sancharya rupe yatano punasa prabhur vidhau pragivaloka shrishtem. Before the creation of this cosmic manifestation, the Lord enlightened the heart of Lord Brahma with the details of the creation and manifested the Vedic knowledge. So this is a verse which compares the revelation of knowledge which happens at the beginning of the creation from the heart of the Lord to the heart of Lord Brahma, who then disseminates knowledge throughout the entire universe through the medium of the Guru Parampara. So here it says, in exactly the same way, the Lord, being anxious to revive the Vrindavan pastimes of Lord Krishna, impregnated the heart of Rupa Goswami with spiritual potency. By this potency, Srila Rupa Goswami could revive the activities of Krishna in Vrindavan, activities almost lost to memory. In this way, he spread Krishna consciousness throughout the world. So whatever the knowledge that Rupa Goswami is giving in his writings, this is all a manifestation of the Lord himself, who is manifesting in the heart of Rupa Goswami whatever message he wants to give to us, mankind. So Rupa Goswami is the representative and especially empowered. We know he was given 4 different tasks in Vrindavan, but he's especially empowered to write. So, first of all, we should know that Srila Rupa Goswami was a born poet. Even before meeting Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and accepting the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and starting to write in the line of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, already he had compiled 2 dramas. And his topic, the dramas were Hansaduta, the swan messenger, and the Uddhav Sandesh, the message brought by Uddhava. So we understand by the title of these dramas that this is all about rasa. And this is what Rupa Goswami was about. Transcendental emotions, transcendental relationships. So he was inclined to write from the very beginning. And he wrote in a very precise and in a very precise way according to the what is called the Nataka Shastra. We find in the Vedas direction for everything in life, and there are also books which are concerned with how to write dramas. So he was following exactly these lines. So we are going to look at, go on a little journey with Rupa Goswami. Particularly, we look at a compilation that he did, which was the Vidagdha Madhava and the Lalita Madhava, which were also dramas. Rupa Goswami wrote books like the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, which are directly Abhideya Gyan, which explain us how to practice bhakti. He also wrote books which are more philosophical, and he wrote dramas, as well as he wrote poetries, which we will be hearing tomorrow. So he started writing these 2 books, Vidagdha Madhava and Lalita Madhava. He started writing them during his first visit to Vrindavan. We heard how he met Lord Chaitanya after escaping from the, we would say, the rule of Hussein Shah. He met Lord Chaitanya in Prayag, and for 10 days they stayed together. Now, on the 10th day, Mahaprabhu embraced Rupa Goswami, and it was understood that this was the end of the instructions. And the next morning, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu started to leave, and Rupa could not tolerate that separation. He wanted to go with him very much. He wanted to follow him. But this was not to happen. We are going to hear the words of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu instructed him to not just enjoy his company. Like sometimes we are in the temple in the morning, we don't want to leave. It's so beautiful seeing the Lord and being there, and kirtan is going on, so we don't want to go. But we must go, because we have services to do. We are servants of the Lord, and we are not there just to enjoy His company, but we are there to serve Him. And we will discover, if we do that, if we actually serve Him, that we will experience a joy even greater. So here we hear Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's words in the Chaitanya Charitamrita. Prabhu kahe tomara kartavya amara vachana nikate asiyaya tumi yaha Vrindavana. I'm sure you understood one word, which was? Vrindavana. Very good, very good. So Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Rupa Goswami, your duty, tomara kartavya, your duty is to carry out my order. You have come near Vrindavan, and all the way from Bengal is halfway, actually, Prayag. So you have come near to Vrindavan. So he said, now you should go there. You should go to Vrindavan. And then he gave him another instruction. He didn't tell him to stay there, like settle there and just stay there. He said, Vrindavana haite tumi gaura desha diya, amare miriva nila chalete asiya. Later, you can go from Vrindavan to Jagannath Puri. Why Jagannath Puri? Because Mahaprabhu was staying there. So he said, later you can come and see me in Jagannath Puri. But he also said, through Bengal. You come to Puri through Bengal. So then they parted. As we know, Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left, crossing the Ganga on the boat, and Rupa Goswami fainted. So much he was emotionally affected by this separation. And he went to Vrindavan. And there, the first time, he stayed for 1 month only. He met with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I told him to meet Subuddhi Roy, who was also a Vaishnava from Bengal, who had also been an officer in the government of Hussein Shah, and who, like him, had escaped. And Subuddhi Roy had been very, very depressed after leaving his service from Hussein Shah. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had also told him, given him that instruction, to go to Vrindavan. So he had become a resident of Mathura, where he was worshipping the Lord. He was chanting. Mahaprabhu had told him to chant the holy names of the Lord. So together they traveled around the 12 forests of Vrindavan. And that's when we now see Rupa Goswami as a writer. Sometimes we hear devotees who write, they always say, I need to go somewhere, and I need to sit and be very quiet and write. But that's not always the way Rupa Goswami was writing. He was getting his inspiration at every moment. And we will see that he was writing while traveling. So while he was visiting these 12 forests of Vrindavan, he became inspired to write a drama covering the entire Krishna Lila. He thought that he will cover the appearance of Krishna, then the pastimes in Vrindavan, then Krishna moves to Mathura, and then later Krishna moves to Dwarka. So that was his idea, that he will cover everything. And he started on his way. And while he was in Vrindavan itself, first he started making some notes regarding the sequence and the plot. There has to be a plot in the drama, how to present it, so it is interesting. And it can awaken. Prabhupada told us that the dramas, they are actually there very much to express rasa. And they are meant to give an experience to the audience. If the drama is well written and is well enacted, Prabhupada gave us the example when he was young in Calcutta, that he actually played in a drama. And they prepared so well that people were crying in the audience. So this is the perfection of drama, that we can transfer the emotions of the players to the audience. So he started writing, and we are going to hear, he wrote what is called the Mangalacharan. So let me see here. He wrote the Mangalacharan to this verse here, to this book that he wanted to write. So here we go back to Chaitanya Charitamrita. This is part of Antya Lila. Vrindavane natakera aramba karila Mangala charanan dishloka tathai likhila. So this says that in Vrindavan, Rupa Goswami began to write a drama. In particular, he composed the introductory verses to invoke good fortune. So it was a Krishna Lila Nataka. And there is a rule for any work that we begin, particularly in the when we follow the Vedic culture, there is always a Mangalacharan, which means it's something that you sing to bring in auspiciousness. Mangala means auspicious, and Acharan means to bring it in. So here in this verse we hear that such Mangalacharan is called Nandi Shloka. Nandi Shloka. So he wrote the verse. We are going to hear that verse. This is what he wrote here. This is the first verse, which will become the first verse of the Vidagdha Madhava, which covers Krishna's pastimes in Vrindavan. So this is the verse here, very beautiful. Sudhanam Chandrina Api Madhurimam Madhadamani Dadhana Radhadi Pranaya Ghanasarhi Surabhitai Sumantat Santapo Gama Vishama Sansara Sarani Pranitam Te Krishna Haratu Hari Lila Shikarini. So here he compares the pastimes of Lord Krishna. It's a glorification of the pastimes of Lord Krishna. And he compares the Leela, the Krishna Leela, to Shikarini, which is like very sweet sugar. May the pastimes of Sri Krishna reduce the miseries existing in the material world and nullify all unwanted desires. The pastimes of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are like Shikarini, a blend of yogurt and sugar, especially sugar candy. They overpower the pride of even the nectar produced on the moon, for they distribute the sweet fragrance of the concentrated loving affairs of Srimati Radharani and the gopis. So when there is a Mangala-charana, it's a very systematic, as we said. There should be an offering of obeisances, namaskar, and that will be in the second verse. Then it should define the topic. So here the topic is the pastimes of Krishna, and especially the rasa, which exudes from the pastimes of Lord Krishna. Therefore, it is compared to Shikharini, something very, very, very tasty. And then a Mangalacharan should also give some blessings. So what are the blessings here? May the pastimes of Sri Krishna reduce the miseries existing in the material world and nullify all unwanted desires. And the goal of writing this book is to distribute the sweet fragrance of the concentrated loving affairs of Srimati Radharani and the gopis all over the world. So this is the goal of the book. So Rupa Goswami compiled this beautiful, very, very beautiful introduction of Mangalacharan to the book while he was wandering in the forest of Vrindavan. At that time we heard from Dinabandhu Prabhu, they used to write on palm leaves. There were different methods for writing. So the initial verses of this drama were written on palm leaves. Later on, Srila Rupa Goswami and the Goswamis, they shifted to writing on paper. The initial forms of paper, natural paper, that were given to them by the kings of Rajasthan. They would give them paper. So today we heard when Prabhupada was in Radha Damodar, instead of doing Madhukari asking for roti, he was doing Madhukari asking for paper. This is the Guru Parampara. We are interested in paper so that we can write about the pastimes of Lord Krishna. So after 1 month going around the forest of Vrindavan, he left. He was with Anupam. Remember that he escaped together with his younger brother. So Mahaprabhu had said, you visit Vrindavan and then you come and see me. So after 1 month they left. How they left? By walk. They walked. So they were walking back. They walked along the Ganges. They were actually doing two things, several things. One thing is they were looking for Sanatan, whom they knew from Mahaprabhu had escaped also. They were looking for him, but they missed him. There were two ways to travel between Prayag and Mathura. One was along the river, and the other was like a main road, what they call it. There was a road. So Sanatan took the road, Rupa and Anupam, they walked along the Ganges, so they couldn't meet. And then they were going to Bengal. Mahaprabhu had told them to go to Bengal. One of the reasons for this is that both Rupa and Sanatan had left very abruptly and secretly, and they had left their families there. So he had to go visit the family and see that everything is fine. And Anupam had his young son there, Jiva Goswami. So they traveled, and it is described that as they were walking, Rupa Goswami was completely absorbed in the drama writing. Anupam was looking for the way, arranging things, and Rupa Goswami was in the drama world. He was writing, he was getting inspiration, and he was writing verses, he was making notes, he was carrying a stock of palm leaves. And the way they would do is, Sanskrit is a very compact language. So they would write, and then they would somehow make a hole, and they would attach the palm leaves with a rope, and then put it as a bundle in a cloth. So they were carrying more and more palm leaves as Rupa Goswami was producing some verses. So he was thinking, making notes, writing. And it is said that sometimes, not just for this piece of writing, but in general, sometimes Rupa Goswami would get some inspiration. And he would just compose a verse just like that. It would just come out. And at other times, it would take him several days to actually compile a verse. Because Sanskrit composition is quite particular. It is very particular. There are many rules. It's not like an English free writing type of exercise. In Sanskrit, we hear there are something called the meters. In English poetry also, there are some poetries which are written with the same rhythm or same ending sounds and so on. But in Sanskrit, it is very strict. So the science of chandas, or the meters, how to write, that was fully known to Srila Rupa Goswami. And just as a musician, knows all the intricacies of music. And somebody who is learning music is a little slow. And he has to think what note should go next, or we have to think. But once one becomes proficient in music, then he can sing anything at any time. He can pick up a tune on an instrument very easily. So Rupa was like this with chandas. The chandas were just flowing from his pure mind, and he was composing beautiful, beautiful verses. But still, it was not easy. So sometimes he had to think, he had to find the word that would fit in. Recently we were studying the chandas in Srimad Bhagavatam, and we saw that in Sanskrit there are two types of syllables. Some are long and heavy, some are short and light. And the entire science of poetry is actually based on the alternating long and short syllables, which give a certain type of rhythm to the lines. So the verses usually are composed in 4 different lines, and there are rules how to compose. First of all, there are different lengths. The verse can be 8 syllables per line, or it can be 14 syllables per line, or it can be 21 syllables per line. It is said up to 26 syllables per line. And then the idea of Sanskrit composition is that a verse can either be even, semi-even, or uneven. So an uneven verse would mean that the rhythm doesn't matter. There should be a fixed number of syllables per line, 4 lines, same number of syllables, but in any order. And then semi-even means the first line has to match the 3rd line, and the second line has to match the 4th line. And then the even verses, the most difficult